never know exactly why Pat Tillman enlisted. He made a deliberate choice not to make it a public matter. But after he died, an interview surfaced.
Even as athletes, we bitch and moan every now and again about this or that. And if we ever just, times like this, you stop and think about just how, not only how good we have it, but what kind of a system we live under, what freedoms were allowed. And that wasn't built overnight. And it's kind of, the flag is a symbol of all that, a symbol of, you just don't think about it all the time.
On the day after 9/11, the Cardinals had conducted team interviews so players could comment on the country in the wake of the terrorist attacks.
My great-grandfather was at Pearl Harbor, and a lot of my family has given up, has gone and fought in wars, and I really haven't done a damn thing as far as laying myself on the line like that. And so I have a great deal of respect for those that have and what the flag stands for.
The interview became known as Pat's explanation for why he dropped everything and joined the Army, even though he wouldn't actually make his decision for another 6 months. It would be used to violate his only request, that his motivation for enlisting be kept private.
Pat Tillman had everything to live for. All that was missing was a true sense of purpose. He said he found that on September 11, 2001.
Former safety for the Arizona Cardinals gave up a multi-million-dollar pro football deal the day after September 11. Tillman explained his decision in a
This is what he said the day after the attacks.
Here's how he explained his decision.
To make right, he said, what 9/11 had made so wrong.
He was a human being. And by putting this kind of heroic, saintly quality to him, you're taking away the struggle of being a human being. I mean, he had to make choices, just like we all do, and he tried to make the right choices. And when he didn't make the right choice, he was the first person to tell you.
The military was not what Pat expected it to be.
He thought, just like, the majority of people in this country, that going into Afghanistan was the right thing to do. And then, of course, once they enlisted, the talk started veering towards going into Iraq. And when they were over there, he didn't like what he saw.
In February 2003, Pat and Kevin were deployed to Iraq. 1 month later, the Rangers were ordered to provide perimeter support for the rescue of Jessica Lynch, a supply clerk who had reportedly engaged the enemy in a fierce firefight before being taken prisoner.
She showed true courage.
She shot until she ran out of ammunition.
She's alive. She's being tortured.
Despite the apparent urgency, the rescue of Jessica Lynch was inexplicably put on hold. Russell Bear waited out the delay on top of a bunker with Pat and his brother Kevin.
Just watching these bombs and these A-10s strafe the city. That was the first time I'd heard Pat and kind of like, no kidding opinion on kind of what was going on there. He just said, this war is just so fucking illegal. Just watching this scene unfold. The city's being blown to shit.
Come right. Yeah, coming highly. Okay, you're good. Yeah, I'm moving to set our bags.
Okay.
This is impressive.
It's pretty clear that Special Ops team could have essentially walked into the hospital and picked her up and carried her out, and would have been cooperated with all along the way.
It would come out later that Jessica Lynch had neither fired her weapon nor been tortured, and that the inexplicable delay had been to enable a combat camera crew to record the mission.
Camera right there. Smile. Can you smile for the family? For your folks?
There you go. You're doing great, Jessica. You're doing wonderful.
It was a film production. Jessica Lynch's rescue was a film production.
We understand that there is video taken by a combat camera team. Can you show us that video?
We have the tape. Some brave souls put their lives on the line to make this happen. Loyal to a creed that they know, that they'll never leave a fallen comrade and never embarrass their country. With that, I'll take your questions.
The media has been more than complicit.
The military has just released new video this morning of the daring raid.
They want to take all the complexities of a real situation, reduce them into a comfortable fable.
It was a mission one described as a midnight ballet.
One that's easy to sort of digest and consists of good guys and bad guys that are clearly recognizable from movies.
Saving Private Lynch.
Private First Class Jessica Lang, a 19-year-old U.S. Army soldier. Yeah, I apologize, it's Jessica Lynch.
If you want to get the public to co-sign something, you got to give them something that they're willing to co-sign. It has to be turned into a morality play. I do not want to see dead bodies. I do not want to see coffins. I want to remain comfortable. And so, the government gives them what they want. The press gives them what they want.
Pat and Kevin, when they came back from Iraq, it's like, this is just 100% bullshit.
I think after coming home from Iraq, he was a little disillusioned. It was right around the halfway mark, and he was in a stage of looking towards the next step.